Bucket List Homestead, and today we are finishing up using the rest of those apples my family picked for me a couple of weeks ago. That's it, there's no more, thank goodness. And today we're going to be making apple barbecue sauce. I made this for the first time last year and Dave and I loved it. It is so good. I will say the recipe I'm using, I will link down below. This is, my recipe is inspired by this recipe, but I will link the exact recipe down below. We found there was way too much sugar in the original recipe, so I have changed that, and I've omitted a couple of spices and things like that, but this is definitely inspired from this recipe, so that will definitely be linked down below in the description. But like I said, we really liked it last year, and I like mixing it with apple butter. So that's one of the reasons I found, I think it was too sweet last year, because some of my apple butter has sugar, some of it didn't. It depended on what I was experimenting with last year. So we don't need all that sugar, we just don't. I started early this morning. I actually started yesterday. I started getting some tomatoes done yesterday, and then early this morning I woke up, got some out of the freezer and put them in really warm water. Just let them sit for a minute, and as you can see, the peelings slip right off when you put these frozen tomatoes into warm water. Makes it much quicker. And I plopped those into the roaster to get those going, and I let them cook for a little bit. Came back and I immersion blended them all up. So now we have tomato sauce. So I'm making my own tomato sauce because I had a lot of tomatoes, and truth be told, I still have a lot of tomatoes in my freezer. Not as many, but there's still probably 15 pounds of tomatoes. So far I've probably used about 10 pounds of the 25 pounds roughly of tomatoes I had frozen. Right now my roaster is off. So now I'm going to add 8 cups. So this equals out to be about 32 ounces of tomato sauce, okay? I have 8 cups of homemade applesauce that I've been making the last day or so. And we still have a lot of this left. And in a few minutes, we're gonna do something with that too. So I have in here my 8 cups of homemade applesauce. This took a lot to get this going, so I'm gonna make sure I get every bit of that out of this bowl. And this year I actually kept the peelings on. I washed them really good, cored them and kept the peelings on, and then just used my immersion blender, and it was great. And I have to say, it's the most flavorful applesauce I've ever made. So we'll be doing that more often. And in this bowl, I have 2.5 cups of brown sugar, 1.5, sorry, I'm looking for my notes here. Okay. 2.5 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. You can use regular vinegar, but I just find the apple cider vinegar gives it even that much more flavor. 2 teaspoons of salt, 4 teaspoons of garlic powder, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And we're gonna put all that in here too. The original recipe is 6 cups of sugar, and I just, like I said, I found that was a lot. Okay. I'm gonna give this a good stir. I'm gonna put this on 200 degrees. That's the lowest mine goes. And we're gonna let this cook for about 2 hours.
My wish is that you don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I'm running, and you should too, and hit that subscribe button. I know what you've been asking yourself. How can I make a difference? I'm just one person.
I can make a difference, but I'm just one person.
Well, my friends, I'm here to tell you that it's free, quick, and easy. Share this video on your social media and make that difference today.
So I have a lot of applesauce left, probably roughly about 8 cups, because I had roughly 16 cups altogether. I'm gonna turn this into some apple butter, because we do go through apple butter a lot more than we do applesauce, and I have lots of applesauce. And I will be using that in some upcoming videos where we're gonna replace some things with the applesauce. So stay tuned, don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified of new videos. Anyway, we're gonna concentrate on the apple butter. I tasted this. This is very sweet. I'm not gonna add any more sugar. I'm really not. Remember, it's not sugar that makes it a safe canning recipe, it's the acidity. There's lots of lemon juice already in here, so I'm not worried about that. Plus the apples have acidity themselves. All I'm gonna add to this is some cinnamon and some nutmeg, and I'm gonna put it back into the crock pot because right now it's just sitting out. And I'm going to leave the cover off. It's pretty thick, but I'd like it to get just a little bit thicker. So I'm going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Okay. And you can add whatever you want to apple butter. You can do, that's nutmeg there. That's probably about a teaspoon or so. You could add cloves, you could add allspice, whatever you like. I say this is the combination we seem to enjoy. So I'm gonna give this a stir, get this back on the crock pot on low, not cover it. And we'll check on it in an hour and see if it needs longer. Like I said, it's pretty thick. It's a little bit thicker than traditional applesauce right now, but for me, it's not thick enough to be apple butter yet. Now, we're gonna check on our seals for our gorgeous cranberry butter we made yesterday. Is that not beautiful? Oh, the color. So the best way to check a seal, pick it up right by the lid. If it doesn't pop off, we've sealed. Yay, 100% seal rate. I'm not surprised. I did use my 4-jar lids and I have not had any seal failures yet. I shouldn't say that. I did have one, but it was my fault. It was user error that caused the seal, not seal, the lid to not seal. Okay, I'm just gonna give these a quick wipe down. Mark on what these are because they do look like cranberry sauce or even some of the cherry jam I've made. And we'll put those on the shelf with the rest of our canning. Last project we're going to finish up this morning is I'm going to finish powdering my celery leaves that I dehydrated. And I wish I had filmed it. I didn't. I harvested my celery a couple of days ago, and this is the best year I've ever had for celery. It grew huge, probably because I had to leave it alone because I haven't been here. Sorry, my wash machine's running. That's that noise in the background. I had to leave it, because I wasn't here, and I think it probably did great. I mean, some of it was really soft, but it went to the chickens, but a lot of it was beautiful, crispy celery. A few I kept for snacking. The rest I dehydrated or froze for making broth later, because that's another thing on my to-do list. And all these beautiful leaves, I didn't want them to go to waste. I mean, the chickens did get some, so it's never wasteful if the chickens get it, because they give us eggs. Well, they would give us eggs if these new chickens would start laying. Anyway, I'm going to just powder the leaves to make celery powder that you can add to anything you add celery to. I'm actually going to make some celery salt too, I think, out of this for seasoning for some things, but you can add it even to smoothies. You can add it to baking, so you're getting some nutrition into your baking and nobody will know it. And it's also great food coloring for your baked goods. I probably wouldn't use it in frosting because it's going to have a strong celery flavor. Few more trays to go. few hours later. The apple butter is the thickness I want, so that is ready to can up. The barbecue sauce is being a bit of a pain. It's still not as thick as I want. I've taken the lid off. We'll let that go for as long as this is gonna take me, and then we'll see where we're at. The other problem, I am completely out of half-pint jars, completely out. I knew I was getting low, but I didn't realize I was out. I also took a bunch to Maine this summer. I took my sister and some other family, my in-laws, some jellies and some jams and a few other things. So that's where a lot of those jars are. And obviously I need to get more, but I'm not running uptown, gonna go try and hunt down half-pint jars right now. So we are gonna use full pints. We'll just be processing them for 15 minutes, 10 minutes for half pints, 15 minutes for full pints. I do have 2 half pints left, but I'll still do them the 15 minutes. So yeah, did not realize I was out. So we are going to get these into jars in 1/2 inch headspace. I just set the timer on the apple butter. It came to a full rolling boil, so now we start 20 minutes. This is still too thin. I've turned the heat up just a little bit, and I also added 1 whole can of organic tomato paste. I'm gonna say it's around 8 ounces. I might need to add a second one, but honestly, I think it's starting to thicken up in just the last few minutes. So hopefully by the time the batter is out of the canner, these will be ready to go in. Barbecue sauce has thickened up quite a bit, a little bit more at least to what I'm happy with. And we are going to fill these with a, I think it's 1/2 inch, hold on a sec. Yes, 1/2 inch headspace, just like the apple butter. And 20 minutes process, just like the apple butter. We're done. That is a busy couple of days, including I also started calendula oil and chamomile oil this week. I really hope to end harvest season 2024 with a bang. I have one big project, something I've never done before, that is next on my list. So stay tuned for that. It's preserving potatoes in a way I've never done. I'm really hoping it works, because if it is, this could be game changing for us. That's it, friends. Thanks for stopping by the homestead, and coming along with me while I get some of these canning projects off my to-do list. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.